put my hope in His Word. Because God, You're my hiding place. You're my shield. You're my everything. God, I can't do this without You. And some of you in this building today, some of you watching online today, but especially in this building today, you got a choice, a decision today. You can continue to wallow in your stuff. You can continue to wallow in what you got going on, the things that you're fighting up against. You can continue to wallow in that if you want to and what you choose to. Or you can run to Jesus. And you can find hope. You can find peace. You can find joy. Well, preacher, does that mean my circumstance is going to change? They may not. And they may. I don't know. But your outlook will. Your outlook will. You know why? Because you're not looking around anymore. You're looking up. You know what David said in another place? I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord. I'm not trying to find help here. It's endless. It's fruitless. There's no hope in it. But my help comes from the Lord. He's my resource. He's my buckler. He's my shield. He's my strength. He's my source. And I don't know how you walked in this building today, and I don't know what you're carrying. But I'm telling you, God, Roger, I was one of those pastors that looked at this message and I thought to myself, God, I preached a message about revival last week. Give me something to just get them up a little bit more. And God said, nope, nope. I'm leaving the 99. Ain't He a good God? I'm leaving the 99. I'm going after that one. That one that's oppressed, that one that's depressed, that one that's fighting, that one that's struggling, that one that just seems can't keep up with the pack, that one that's just kind of got left behind, that one that's misunderstood, that one that nobody seems to care about. They don't know their name, they don't know their story, they don't know their situation, but I do. And I'm speaking on behalf of God. God said, I do. And I'm willing to leave the pack. I'm willing to go find that one that thinks there's no more hope, that thinks there's no answer, that thinks there's no turning around, there's no refuge, there's no hiding place. And I'm going to speak through you, my son, and I'm going to minister to them, and I'm going to help them to understand that I still know where they're at. Can I tell you something? When Joseph was in that pit, and brothers had forsook him, and daddy thought he was dead, God knew right where he was. When all the lies were being told, and everybody had turned around and went back on their own life and doing what God knew right where he was. When he went to Potiphar's house and ended up getting lied on by Potiphar's wife, and he ended up in the prison. And he talked to the baker and the butler, and he told one of them, and he said, listen, don't forget me when you get up there. When they forgot Joseph, God knew where he was. God knew where he was. You know what God did to get him out of the prison in that place? He moved on the heart of an enemy king, a Pharaoh. He put a dream in his heart. And he made the smart ones of that country dumb, that they couldn't understand it. And all of a sudden, the one stood up and said, wait a minute, I remember a man. I don't know exactly where it's at right now, but there's a place in Scripture where it says, and God remembered. God remembered. You know what I think sometimes? We go to His Word and we're in distress and we don't know what to do, and we open it up and all of a sudden we begin to read the page of these Scriptures. God says, I remember. I know what I promised. I know what I said I would do. I know how I said I would turn it around. I know what I said. I know I said I'd heal it. I know I said I'd raise it up. I remember. It's not that God forgot. It's just that in your situation, when you cried out, God says, I know. I know. I know what you're faced with. I know what you're up against. I know. And I just want to tell somebody today that God hasn't forgotten. He's still your hiding place. He's still your refuge. He still knows what you're up against. He still knows what you're in. But He has not forsaken you. If I can quote Romans 8, what shall separate me from the love of God? Nothing. That's the summary of it. Not pestilence, not height, nor depth, no width, no length, none of that. No principalities, no powers, no spiritual wickedness, none of that. Not a devil, not sickness, not hurt, not pain. None of that shall by any means separate me from the love of God. First off, let me say as I conclude, He loves you. Secondly, He has not forsaken you. Thirdly, He knows where you are. And fourthly, He is here. He is here. He is here. I've seen Him show up in hospital rooms. I've seen Him show up in prison cells. I've seen Him show up in homes where nobody else was there. I've seen Him show up in cars. I've seen Him show up on back roads. I've seen Him show up in churches. I've seen Him show up in Sunday school rooms. I've seen Him show up in children's church classes. I've seen Him show up when you didn't think He was there. He was there all the time. Never leaving, never forsaken, always present.